Hey guys, I'm just coming back to part two of the morning video here on Monday. So as I was talking about Dustin, Erin, and their son Jay. So first of all, one of the things, and I don't think anyone's going to get mad at me. I'm not talking out of school, but Dustin met Erin when she was already pregnant. So um, you know, it takes a really, first of all, talking about character, it takes a really special man to fall in love with a woman um, that's pregnant, right, from somebody else. And I mean, to think about the selflessness that goes just into that alone. That not so many people worry about themselves. Me, 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 me. There's nothing me about that. This man is falling in love with another person, really falling in love with two other people, one he hasn't even met yet, and that's just a huge leap of faith. And really, just that tells you everything you want to know. Just looking at the clouds that are coming in today. It's supposed to be some rain today. Um, Tells you everything you want to know about the man. So that starts there, and then as we're outside later in the day, he was sharing his own background with me, and I knew I had to meet this family because I don't want to say too much, and I want to be respectful, but Dustin's not had an easy life, and he had confessed to me when we first met that my message of how I didn't like who I was becoming, that people were sucking the life out of me and I was becoming cynical, was in fact who he was and becoming. Uh, First of all, Dustin is hard of hearing and has to wear hearing aids, and the unknown of how that's going to impact him in his later life. He's still a pretty young man. Um, I'm going to guess late 20s. I think he told me, but I'm going to guess late 20s. But he has that challenge ahead of him, not knowing what's going to happen with his hearing as he goes. But he was telling me a story, and he gave me permission to use as much or everything I wanted to. But again, I want to try to be a little bit respectful of it. But suffice it to say that his parents had split, and his dad, sometime when Dustin was around 14, his dad had him for the weekend or every other weekend. Was supposed to come pick him up, and just never ever showed. And not a call, not an apology. And then the next time it was supposed to happen, just never ever showed. And God, I can't imagine what that could do to somebody. So, Dustin didn't lament over it and point the finger or anything like that. But, I can't imagine as a 14, 15-year-old. I had my father taken from me, but I couldn't imagine knowing he's not too far away and has got something better on his plate than to come grab me and my family for the day. So he's got to carry that, and I think that is transparent in how much love he has for Jace. That Jace will never know what it's like to be unloved or almost abandoned, but in some degree. And so Dustin was really really close with his grandfather, and has pictures, and just couldn't stop talking to him. So his grandfather, a great man, kind of took on that role. And one of the things we talked about, homemade knickknacks. His grandfather used to kind of carve giant trucks out of wood, and big and small. And Dustin had a bunch of those to show me, and he was so proud to show them to me. And they really were pretty special. And one time he showed them to me when his aunt was there, and that's her dad that he's talking about. And she was telling me that a whole bunch of these things, and people would come by and offer him $200 a piece for them, and they were just really special to him. And as trucks grew in terms of technology, so did his artwork, and he had them with the horns on top and the mud flaps, and these were just blocks of wood wheels, really cool stuff. I probably should have taken some pictures of them, but the message I got from Dustin was, again, the unconditional love that he's given his son. And they're not I've been very fortunate on this journey to meet a lot of people who I would say are, I mean, I've met ranges from in every capacity, every race so far, multiple religions, multiple economic levels, um, politically different. But Dustin and Erin are just grinders. They're middle class America that's, living week to week and struggling to make it. And, again, here's his family. I've been blessed to see some folks that have, achieved some degree of comfort financially in life. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've been there before. Hell, after this journey, without a house and cars, I'll be there again, and without any credit. My credit score dropping every day. But, through it all, Jace has no idea of the struggles his mom and dad go through. It's a house filled with love, and I've always told my kids, we may not be rich, but if I died tomorrow, I'd be the richest man in the world because of the love that me and the kids have for each other. And I really believe that, and I'm sure a lot of you do. But it was a special thing to see, and it was really nice to be a part of that. It was really nice to be a part of it, and to be reminded that there are people out here every day that finding a way to pay the electric bill is a challenge. It's a big deal. Sometimes all of us, and there are people that I've been with and met along the way. I'm not saying anybody's unappreciative, but again, sometimes we need a conversation like this to remember just what we do have. Just the amazing gifts that we've been blessed with, and life is what you make of it. I left them a note before I left this morning saying, look, you guys are an amazing family, and thank you for letting me be a part of your family for a day. And you guys are rich in the important things, in love, and household, and respect, and that stuff that doesn't get bought with money. And it kind of just made me appreciate my kids and my family, and where I used to be, and where I kind of got to at one point, and maybe back there again, and just good folks. So thank you, Dustin and Aaron, and certainly Jace. I just posted something goofy though. I got to send Dustin an email. I took pictures with me and them. They saw me on my phone, and yet I went to my phone today to post them, and they're not there. They're gone. And I don't know how that happens. It's the second time now that's happened to me. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong or how it happens, but inevitably I'm doing something wrong, clearly. So I got to try to find them, or I'll ask Dustin to send a picture. So if there's not a picture of them, I don't mean to show them any disrespect. I got to ask them to send me a picture so I can post it. But so that was yesterday into last night, and that leads me to today. Usually my morning ones are a recap of yesterday. I want to see about something while I got you. I did leave a couple others last night, but while I got you today, I want to read something to you that I thought is phenomenal, and I kind of ripped this out of the paper in McDonald's yesterday, because I thought sometimes journalists don't quite get the big picture, and sometimes they do. And this is a journalist for the Chicago Tribune named Steve Rosenblum, and he did a top 10 list of power rankings, as he called them, and that can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Well, these all are around one topic. So they start off in the first one. I'm not quite sure I understand, but so I'll start with kind of 2 through 10, and it says, I'm not going to tell you the name. Maybe you'll know it, maybe you won't. I'll tell you the name when I'm done. But it says, founded the I Promise public school that opened Monday and will provide free tuition and uniforms for 240 at-risk 3rd and 4th graders in his hometown of Akron, Ohio. The school's curriculum is anchored in the STEM approach: science, technology, engineering, and math, to prepare students for jobs of the future, because that really is where our future's going, technology-driven. We'll give a bicycle and helmet to every student attending his school because they need to get to class, and because he remembers as a kid the importance of being able to escape the dangerous parts of town and exploring other neighborhoods. His mission statement recognizes the need for nutrition, so his school will provide breakfast, lunch, and snacks during the 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. school day. And because nutrition doesn't stop at the campus gates, he'll provide for a family food pantry. His mission statement doesn't stop at the elementary to high school grades. He will cover tuition to the University of Akron for every student who successfully completes the program and graduates. In what has been described as the true wraparound educational mission, his generosity extends to the family by offering GED classes and job placement services to the families of these children. The long school day and extended school year, on top of educating at-risk children, requires well-trained and well-supported teachers. To that end, he has provided for psychological and emotional services, career development counseling, and even a trainer for those desiring a guided workout. Has established plans to expand to 2nd and 5th grades by next year and cover 1st through 8th grades by 2022. And then lastly, stick to philanthropy. And some of you may know who I'm talking about by now. I am kind of passionate about this, because if I just told you that, you wouldn't know if it's President Trump, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, any number of people. But we have a lot of people in this country, celebrity, that make millions and millions and millions of dollars. And to the common folk, a lot of times we say, what do they do with all that money? And wouldn't it be nice if they gave back? And how infrequently do we hear about giving back? Well, good Lord, guys, giving back. This gentleman has created a school for 3rd and 4th graders. He's feeding them. He's funding their college education. This gentleman is a global icon at this point in time, and yet people still tear him down because people want to hate. I don't really give a shit about what you think about his basketball ability and if he's the greatest or not the greatest, but LeBron James, in my opinion, might be as special a person and role model for my kids as there could be. I mean, I think a lot of us dream if we ever had that, we'd be able to give back, but yet we see so many, and I'm sure they give back in their own special way, but this is phenomenal. I mean, it's indescribable. This is so powerful, and it's to the kids. So, again, to all of you folks out there on Sports Talk Radio, which I don't hear anymore because I'm out on this journey, that have always compared, want to tear him down and say he's not the best in the league, and who gives a shit? Tell me anybody else I've read about in any sports avenue in the last 30 years that has done something to this level, and the answer is nobody. Nobody. So I'm not trying to take away from anybody else, but you know what? It's time, folks, to put this guy at the top of your charts, because he's not just talking the talk, he's not just walking the walk, he's paving the way. This is so extreme to me and so insane. It's not insane, it's just so beautiful. I wish there was something I could do to help contribute, to be a part of it. He certainly doesn't need anything from me in terms of finances, and he certainly doesn't seem to need a whole lot in terms of vision. I mean, this is a young man in his young 30s to think that he's done this and created this, and I don't have any reason to doubt that he won't follow through on everything he's saying and make this happen. So all I can say is, LeBron James, man, good for you. I don't really give a shit, excuse my language, what anybody else says or thinks about you. I don't ever want to hear my kids ever say anything, bad about you. I don't think they do. I think they're big fans. But, brother, I don't care who you play for. I don't care what you play for. I don't care if you average 33 points a game or 13 points a game. You are a man among men in my mind and my heart. So, let's when we talk about sports athletes, let's take character into account. Let's take contributing and giving back into account, because this guy just knocked it out of the park and blew out of the water. So in my own way, I wanted to recognize him. So if any of you folks want to reach out to him or tag this to him, please do, because I'd love to, I'm blown away by it. I just think this is what, for years, I've been waiting to see somebody that makes $20 million a film, or makes $30 million a year in a sports league that does entertainment, do something like this. I really can't. I mean, there's been some people, Tom Brady has kind of not needed to be the highest paid so he can have a better team, and he's checked his ego, but I don't recall anything like this. Cal Ripken, a junior, has done some amazing things with his little league and stuff. And I'm sure a lot of these celebrities have charities and funds, but nothing to this level. So again, LeBron James, man, in my opinion, when I'm raising kids, and hopefully my kids are raising their kids, they're going to tell stories about, what you've done with your celebrity and with your money, and more power to you. So much love to you. I'm going to wrap up for the morning right now. I got some other things to talk about, but let me know. Earlier when I talked about little Jason getting a U.S. Navy Blue Angel plane. Guys, Kira, Grace, Landon, I love you. Please listen to what I said, about LeBron James. You guys want to have idols and look to sports stars or athletes or celebrities, find out what their characters and what they stand for, and make that part of why you like them. Okay, guys? I love you so very, very much. Talk to you soon.